Happy friends, happy Friday. It is January 9th and I'm Tiff and I'm here to talk about bariatric psychiatric clearance. I want you to know why bariatric surgery requires a psychiatric clearance and why it's not what you think it is. So I want to let you know that bariatric psychological evaluations are standard and they are a part of the pre-surgical process, and the intent is to support your success rather than act as a barrier to you having the surgery. So a few myths about bariatric surgery clearance that I want to go ahead and address. And if I'm looking down, it is because I have some notes that I'm going to read from. And one of the first myths about bariatric surgical clearance is that it's a test of sanity and it is a mission to prove that you are crazy. And the fact of the matter is that the goal is not to judge your mental health, but to identify where you're strong, where there may be vulnerabilities, and potential barriers to your success. And people, or most people with obesity, are usually psychologically normal. So keep that in mind. The second myth is that the evaluation is a formality that doesn't matter. And the fact is, the evaluation is a crucial step that is going to ensure your success mentally and emotionally, and prepare you and also assess your readiness for a lifelong lifestyle change that is required after surgery. So the fact of the matter is, this isn't an easy button. This isn't a Band-Aid. This is a permanent and life-altering decision. A third myth is that if you do have a mental health condition like depression or an eating disorder, you'll automatically be denied your surgery. And that's not true. The fact is, pre-existing conditions are normal and they are often treatable. The goal of the evaluator is to ensure that your conditions are well managed before surgery. And again, their goal is not necessarily to deny you clearance. Next is the primary purpose is to fail you on the clearance, and only a small amount of people, around 4% of bariatric candidates, make poor candidates, and most will receive clearance. And if you don't pass the initial clearance, the recommendation is just to get some more support. So things like seeing a therapist on a regular basis to help you get to that point. It's not a permanent denial. Next is that it's a long and tedious process. Personally, my bariatric clearance only took about half an hour. I was actually really surprised at how quickly it went, and I did mine over the phone. Maybe a little longer in person. Something else I do want to mention as well is please make sure that you are asking about any copay that is required. Depending on whether or not you have met your deductible, there may be a copay. And if you haven't met the deductible, do your best to schedule the clearance either in the beginning of the year when your new deductible starts, or, well, I'll just say don't wait until December. Don't have your clearance in December if you're trying to have surgery in March, because then that money doesn't count towards your deductible. So the next myth is that weight loss is a fix for all of your psychosocial problems. Now, as someone who has tried repeatedly throughout my life, I've lost 70 to 100 pounds multiple times in my life with the same mindset that once I lose this weight, it'll be all sunshine and rainbows and I'll feel good and I'll look good and nobody is gonna mess with me. That's not true. The fact of the matter is even with bariatric surgery, it's a tool It is not a cure. You are going to run into social obstacles, even psychosocial obstacles. So you have to be on your P's and Q's and be taking care of yourself to ensure that you're able to get through those things and that you have healthy coping mechanisms. Something I'm going to recommend. I'm not a medical professional, just a woman going through the process. Please find support groups online. I will link the support groups that I attend. And if you also need extra support, look at Overeaters Anonymous. I've been attending meetings and I have definitely found them helpful. Now, I'm still a rather quiet participant because the program does really encourage going to at least 6 meetings before deciding how you feel about things, but it's a good way to get some additional support and understanding, and also to help you develop some strategies. And then finally, the evaluation process is standardized across all clinics. So the American Society for Bariatric and Metabolic Surgery does provide suggestions, but there is not a standard protocol, and the process and focus areas will vary between programs. So your surgeon and their team will do things differently than my surgeon and my team. So at the end of the day, the psychological evaluation is there to help you. It's there to make sure that you have a support system, that you're in the right frame of mind and understanding the magnitude of the decision that you're going to make, and that you have a support team and inner support to help you navigate through the changes of weight loss surgery. I will come back in part 2 here, and I will talk about what the actual appointment is like. But I love you. Take care of yourself.